Okay, you see what I've got up here. That's right. And you notice the name I gave to the name of this here video. That's right. False Hope Club. That's right. We had it back in 2018, right? Had it back in 2017, 16. They got one scheduled for 2020. That's right. And this is the one that just took place. Okay. And yeah, lots of good speakers, right? Lots of good speakers here. We had a few shields here. We had some plants here. That's right. We had our controller here. Let's see, we got Fox News right over here. That's right. See, we got Fox News. That's right. You think you accidentally got up on television, became famous. That's right. You know who he is, right? Most of you should. Okay, we all know who this is, right? David Icke. We all know who that is, right? Ron Paul. Yeah. When we come down and we look at the many faces here of speakers that they put together for you for the False Hope Club. Yep. It's where you can go and you can listen to lots of truth, and you can have false hope given to you, and you can believe that we're waking people up. That's right. To the real truth, that we're going to be able to stop these criminals, your owners. But no, you're not. No, not at all. Oh, that's right. We had to get this guy in here, didn't we? Lou Podolsky. Yeah, we are changed, Lou Podolsky. That guy that got up there on Reuters and got up there on television and was right there with that gal that used to preach and do all of her videos up on YouTube. That gal called Cassie Dill. That female that came on my radio show back in the day. That very female that came up on my radio show that I used to stick up for a little bit, that used to talk politics and feminism. Her, Cassie Dill. Her and her crew that kept going to all these rallies and all these events. And then she got up on TV, and there she was. Oh my God, she was so proud. And she sat right alongside, oh, we're changed here, Lou Podolsky. She sure did. And she was right there on TV to be seen, and she was so proud. She went from YouTube to live television, and she was going to be across the street from the Capitol up in Washington, and she was going to be having a lemonade stand. That's right. And she was going to be selling lemonade for all the little kids in America that had Kool-Aid stands and lemonade stands that were being terrorized by the Congress and by their criminal governments and not allowed to have a lemonade stand or a Kool-Aid stand because they didn't have a permission, permission slip, and they wasn't paying taxes to their city. And that's what this whole thing was about, right? We were fighting back. That's right, for the little kids. And so Lou Podolsky was asked by the reporter right up on TV if he was going to be there on Saturday when they set up the stand. And he said, yes, I am. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be with Cassie Dill and her crew. And we're going to set this lemonade stand up right there across the street from the Capitol. And we're going to sell our lemonade. So that Saturday came. Cassie and the crew showed up. They set up the stand. Where was Lou? Lou, where are you? Everybody's looking around. No Lou. No Lou. Okay, well, we'll go out. We'll start selling. Lou be here soon. Oh, we are changed. Yep. Well, see, Cassie got her change. She sure did. She got her change. Oh, Lou never showed up, so he lied to the world. But you know who did show up? The cops. They sure did. And they arrested Cassie and her crew. That's right. Shut them down. Arrested them. Took them off to jail. Cassie got the experience of a lifetime. She got We Are Change by Lou Podolsky. She sure did. She got a change. She got the chance to go to jail. She got a chance to pay fines. She got a chance to get the shit scared out of her, Kajivas, to shut the shit up, to shut her up. And guess what? It worked. It worked wonders. Cassie Dill disappeared from YouTube. Then she showed up a few months later talking fluff and stuff and never touched the political end ever again. She stayed away from feminism. She stayed away from the political end. She just basically shut up and went away, just like what the entire plan was about. Because we are Change, Lou Podolsky, who is controlled by what? Greed. The tool. That's right. Who is working for who? Oh, he's working for the people we're fighting to stop, the criminals. Yeah, he's part of them criminals. He's one of them criminals. And when you look through the roster here for 2019, and you're really, really awake to what's going on, you begin to realize that this is nothing more than false hope. This is controlled. This is to sell on you, the people who are awake, that we are doing something, we are fighting back, and to give you false hope that we are going to be able to get change. That's right. We are change, that we're going to change things, and that we're going to get rid of corruption and evil as your owners, that you'll become free finally from your enslavement. When in reality is to give you the illusion, a false perception, an illusion. Okay? That's what this is really about. So I'm going to do a reply towards this. I've said a few things I wanted to say personally. And I'm going to play this man right here. And I'm going to pause it. And I'm going to say a few things that you really, 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 really need to pay attention to what I'm telling you. Because it's the absolute real truth in your face. Okay, so let's go on here.
What's up? It's Derek Bros with the Conscious Resistance Network, and I'm going to do a video about my experience at Anarchapulco this year, 2019, and I'm going to share what I know, what I was told, the people I interviewed, and what I think about next year. I just wanted to show you guys that it's me, so you know it's me when you hear me talking, but I'm going to switch off this camera and just show you my screen because, well, as you can see, the video is kind of crappy and it's dark. I'm in an Airbnb right now here in Acapulco, heading out tomorrow to Costa Rica for the rest of my trip. And I was really planning on saving this video till I got home from Costa Rica in a couple weeks, but it seems like many people are now finally, thankfully, starting to come forward with their questions, comments, concerns regarding Anarchapulco. Including Jeff Berwick, who is, of course, the founder of Anarchapulco. So I decided that I was going to go ahead and put my 2 cents out there and share this with you guys. So I hope you will listen to what I have to say, because it's going to be the truth based on my experience, based on me interviewing more than 20 or so people, probably in the 30s, people, including Jeff. I sat down with Jeff and talked to him and Luke Radowski for about 2 hours. Talking with Dana Martin, who is the...
Yep, he sat down with Lou Podolsky. We are change. We are change. That's right. He sat down with a plant, an agent, a criminal. That's right. And had a nice talk with the criminal. Anyhow, we'll go on.
Creative director of Anarchapulco this year for the last year, but specifically about the problems for the last months, since at least December. I also interviewed Nathan Freeman, who was formerly the main organizer involved with Anarchapulco up to this past year. I also interviewed volunteers, some of the lead coordinators, the lead volunteers. I interviewed some of the people on the sound crew, Carl and Steve, who have been around since the beginning and are great guys. I interviewed attendees who kind of caught wind that there was some drama going around the Anarchapulco community and asked for their opinions, and I was honest with them about my experiences. So I think I've got a pretty good handle on how
You want to pay attention. About some drama going around, the stuff you're not allowed to know about, the stuff they don't want you to know about.
people feel, what people expressed, and those sorts of things. And I just want to share it with you guys. Not because I'm here to create drama or because I want to attack people, but because I care about accountability and transparency.
This is the problem. It's because he cares about accountability, the main one. Transparency, accountability. That's the main one right there. Yep. Now let's go onward.
And I honestly believe that some people in this community care about transparency and accountability. Unfortunately, I have also seen that there are people in this community who don't really care about that.
Of course there are. Well, did you actually think that you were going to be able to get a group of people with the knowledge that they have, the knowledge level of people like Mark Passio and David Icke and all the heads that you got up there? All them heads that I just got through showing you. You really honestly believe that you're going to get all these heads together that you're looking at here in one spot? And you're going to get people like plants, people who are working with, yeah, of course you are. Of course you're going to get people like this to show up there. It's about control. It's about the perception. Even he talked, and, this guy right here, and y'all know him, right? David Icke? Yeah. See, when you really looked, this guy, gave more money? Or he charged more money? Oh, he made more of the tool. That's right. Because when you really looked around you, there wasn't many speakers there that had the amount of time that he was given. That's right, the amount of time to speak that he was given. That's right. But we'll go back to what we were doing here.
Um, so yeah, now let me go ahead first and just, of course, get out the obligatory good things, right? This year at Anarchapulco, there was lots of good speakers. There was lots of really awesome people. And I'm thankful to have been a part of it despite all of the things I'm about to share. I was very thankful. I was able to come there, give my main stage talk, participate in a panel about censorship of the independent media. I was able to screen my documentary, and I was also able to host a workshop. Again, despite everything I'm about to share, not because of help from the crew, but despite of it. And I also met plenty of amazing people that were attending Anarchapulco and involved in different ways, which I think is honestly what everybody thinks is the best part, connecting with everybody. And so I'm thankful to everybody who created that container in that space.
That's the illusion. That's the mirage. Because you get to go to this place and you get to meet all these great speakers, these great people with all this great knowledge. Because after all, we're going to get changed, right? That's right. We're going to somehow overturn NWO and your owners, and we're going to take your owners out of position somehow, and you're going to get your freedom back, right? That's the illusion. Illusion, mirage, fantasy, not reality. As this place is being set and controlled to give false hope.
But, however, there are still plenty of problems and issues that should be addressed. And so I'm going to address them again from my own perspective and my own individual kind of experience.
And this is what I liked about this. You just got to listen up. I'm going to stop it, but just listen to what this guy's about to tell you.
One of the first things we need to address is that, as I mentioned, Nathan Freeman, who some of you may know, he was the main organizer next to Jeff Berwick, who is more of the money behind things. Jeff, for those who've been years past, has either not been around for the entire event, or when he was around, I mean, let's just be honest, he was drunk, he was drinking, going through his own struggles, which he's been very public about. It's not an attack, so don't take it as that. Um, and Nathan was running around, and yes, there were some organizational problems. It definitely seemed like was running around, like there was chaos going on, and people had concerns about the organizational problems. But I was always treated well by Nathan, and it was a nice community to be a part of, and things like that. So
So pay attention to the wording. He was running around. It was like there was chaos going on. Yeah.
it had its issues. Of course, nothing's perfect, um, and yeah, and that's where it was. And since that time, Jeff brought on Jessica Kill, who's a woman we'll talk about in just a moment, who, if you look her up on LinkedIn, she comes from a corporate Hollywood background. She works for public relations firms, which
She comes from a corporate Hollywood public relations. Pay attention to who's there. What does she have to do with this? Why is she involved in this? What did I tell you? Control. Control. That's right. To give a false perception, an illusion, a mirage.
what some would say are professional liars. You can
Right, well, that's what we have in today's society is lie upon lie upon lie upon lie. So he's correct. Professional liars. I don't know if you want to call them professional. I would just call them scum. Yeah, the real name should be scum.
judge for yourself. Um, but she was brought on to help with the organizational side of things. And
No, she was brought on to help, all right. To help to keep real away. That's right. To help to keep real away. You want to pretend to be real. You need the atmosphere to pretend to be real, but to not be real.
uh, by time things started to roll along throughout the year, apparently Jessica took a bigger role, and Dana Martin, who is also one of the speakers, right here you can see she talks about unschooling, and she's just a really awesome woman and always been a good friend to me. Um, she was the creative director, supposed to be the community connection to the event, and Jessica was supposed to handle the organizational things. However, over a period of months, in my experience, and now I know many others, things started to get very difficult dealing with Jessica. As some people have said, Jessica's not a people person or she's difficult. You could say other things about her, but that has been my experience. And I'm sitting here with my phone right here and my text messages with Dana Martin, and I'm looking back of me and Dana talking about Anarchapulco related things since December. Um, but we had actually been talking about Anarchapulco related items since all of last year. I've seen her at different events around the country, and we kept talking and staying in touch about Anarchapulco and about my involvement. And
That's right. You've seen these faces at different events around the country because they just happen to have enough of the tool to go do different events where they're speaking up. That's right, where they're speaking, where they're doing something. They're speaking. They're giving you a mirage, the illusion, the false perception.
yeah, so things were rolling along smoothly. I knew I was going to be invited to speak on the main stage. I knew I was going to be a part of it. And
That's right. I was going to get the fit in. That's right. I was going to get the fit right on in there. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm so proud. I was going to be fitting in.
as the year progressed, I wanted to talk about hosting a workshop and maybe screening my documentary once I started working on my most recent documentary.
Right.
Now,
Then I could work on my documentary and I could do a workshop and I could fit in. That's right. I could fit in. Okay.
my first issue, which is a minor issue in the grand scheme of of everything we're about to go over,
I love it in the grand scheme. The scheme. The scam, the scheme, the scam.
was that I was asking if I could be have my travel covered, as it had been in the 2 years past. I've spoke at Anarchapulco in 2017, 2018, and now 2018. And when Nathan was involved, there was really no issue to get my travel covered, mine and my partner's flights coming from Houston.
Right. It was no issue getting our travel money back. That's right. So that we could travel and we could get the tool, so that we wouldn't have to lose any of our own tool for being here.
It's not that expensive, and I was thankful to have that covered. And this year, that wasn't able to happen. Dana said she would try. She asked a few different times, and ultimately, it wasn't able to happen. Cool. I let it go. I was like, fine, I can take care of that. But maybe since I'm not being paid, and since my travel's not being covered, and at that time I was not offered, hotel lodging or anything like that, and I never have been. I said, well, perhaps, I could do a workshop to maybe try to recoup some of my cost. And then as my documentary started coming about, I said, maybe I can show my documentary there and do a world premiere just for the Anarchapulco audience. And as far back as Dana, as December, Dana was trying to help me with that. December 18th, I see, let me know what we can talk about workshops. And so, the conversation continued, and I started talking to her about hosting a workshop, either a meditation workshop or a workshop related to freedom cells or agorism. And then I also started mentioning my documentary. And uh, without getting into too many specifics and to respect Dana's privacy and some of the conversations that we had, as things progressed, I was told that originally we could do my film. I was told that Dana would check on a workshop, and eventually my film was approved, and Dana and I actually recorded an interview together. This wasn't till late January, though, when we actually recorded an interview. If you don't know, on Anarcast, on the Anarchapulco YouTube channel, they do interviews with some of the speakers to promote their appearances. And so Dana actually sat down with me and did an interview on Skype or on Zoom to promote my appearance, as well as to promote the fact that my documentary was going to be playing. And we did that, and I wrote up a blog and said, hey, use this blog to promote the website. I wanted to sell tickets in advance, like all of the other workshops and all the other people like Larkin Rose and Mark Passio had an opportunity to do so. I wanted to promote my appearance and to promote my...
That's right. I wanted to promote my appearance. I needed to sell some tickets. I needed to make some money in order to finance my trip there so that I could fit in.
film and to actually have a chance to sell these tickets ahead of time. And that was what I was told was going to happen. And then slowly problems started to appear, and basically Dana told me that Jessica Kill said that we couldn't do my documentary anymore because I didn't have it ready 4 weeks ahead of the event. And this was kind of the beginning of trouble for me. I started to ask, well, why is Dana, who's supposed to be the creative director and actually an anarchist, actually a part of this community, why are we having to go through Jessica in order to get things done? And I had emailed Jeff. I messaged him on Instagram, and this is something Jeff will confirm. And I heard nothing back. So my only way to communicate with the team was through Dana, and she kept saying, I'll forward it to Jessica. I'll ask Jessica. I'll try. And Dana was trying, and I appreciate that. But ultimately, Jessica was really the biggest roadblock, and she stood in my way, and eventually, basically, she said, "Sorry, we can't do your screening." I got on the phone with Jessica. Me and Jessica did not have a very friendly conversation. I was trying to practice nonviolent communication and practice my own patience with her, but she was difficult, and this has been, I think, more than one person's experience, and the conversation didn't go well. I basically tried to explain to her, Jessica, it doesn't take a month for me to send a file to somebody. Once my documentary's done, I can have it sent to your guys and your team in a matter of minutes, right? So this is more kind of logistical stuff, and she wanted to make sure she had it early, and so I understood that. So we compromised, and as far as I knew, my film was still going to be able to be played, and everything would be good. Unfortunately, once that wasn't the case, once Dana notified me one day, hey, I'm sorry, like, she's not going to release it. They're not going to let you do the film anymore. Your film's been canceled. I was a bit upset about this. And also, after being told privately by Dana and by other people that they felt like they were being bullied by Jessica, or that Jessica was just, difficult. And
Oh, they were being bullied by her. Yeah, she was just being difficult. No, she was doing her part to control. To control.
I've even heard straight up from people on the team who dealt with Jessica that she said she detested the anarchist community, or this specific community, and that she holds grudges. And so,
Well, she contests real truth, real. Yes. You're not allowed to be real. What did you say you were looking for? What did you say already? At the very beginning, you told. You told the real truth to everybody that most people don't see, they don't understand. Okay? Accountability. That's right. Transparency. Accountability. That's right. No, you can't have that. Don't you understand this event comes together once a year because it's allowed to happen by your owners? That's right. Your owners are allowing this so that you can feel like you're accomplishing something, so that you can have, well, the ability, peer pressure, okay, to fit in, okay, so that you can have false hope. You can feel that you're accomplishing something that one day will finally overturn the evil. And in reality, you'll never overturn the evil because, well, you said it yourself. There's some people on board with you that want transparency and accountability. And then there's people within this whole thing that want nothing to do with that. That's right. Them are the people that are plants. Them are the people who are working for your owner. Why do you think she's being difficult? That's not an accident.
So after being told first that my film couldn't be played anymore, then I was told by other people on the team that Jessica said the speakers, that is, people who have been invited to speak and share our messages, were being told we weren't allowed to sell our own merchandise. I would be allowed to sell my books, but I wouldn't be allowed to sell my shirts. Last year I did really well at Anarchapulco. Lots of people enjoy my shirts and the messages that I promote. And I had invested my money to bring in lots of shirts and books out there, and all of a sudden I was being told as a speaker I couldn't sell my own gear. And I tell you this, I've spoke all around the world at all different kinds of events, and I've never been told that once. Now, I understand they're trying to make money for vendors, but I'm not a vendor. I'm a speaker. I'm there to perform, to share my message. You're inviting me out there. And so I thought that was just insane. And I made it clear to Dana and the team that, hey, I'm going to do it anyways. You know what? Anarchapulco is an anarchist event. It's decentralized. Yes, that doesn't mean no rules, but it was just insane to me. So I've said I'm going to do it anyways.
That's right. That's the problem. You're being real. I understand you want to make some money back so that you can finance your trip there and your motel room, and so that you can have a little bit of profit for your time, right? Yeah, you know, so that you can have a little bit of the tool, the thing that keeps you enslaved, you know, the tool, the thing that keeps us all under control, that keeps us locked down, you know, the tool that keeps the chain of ball around your ankles, that keeps you a slave, that tool that you all want, money.
Um, so Dana and I eventually do this interview after I'm starting to have troubles with Jessica, about whether or not I'm going to be able to do my film, and we're starting to compromise, and it's just one thing after another. And then on January 28th, I get this from Dana. I need to talk to you. Jessica cut your documentary because it wasn't done yet. So as I said, she cut my documentary. Things don't happen. I work things out temporarily. And then Dana and I decide to do an interview to promote my appearance on January 30th is when it happened, January 30th. So we do this interview, and of course, Anarchapulco starts February 14th. So this interview doesn't take place till January 30th. And we do the interview, and Dana talks to me privately about her experiences. And I was a little bit upset to hear that this amazing person, this grown woman, this mother of several kids, is feeling, bullied or just feeling like she's not being heard. And she told me, this is important to say, to be transparent, that Jeff was unavailable, that he was unreachable. And I've heard this from several other people. And Jeff even now admits that part of the problem was that he went MIA. He said he's having a stressful year, so he disappeared, he went offline. So people couldn't reach him. They're having to go through a woman that's very difficult, who is a stranger to this community, who comes from a corporate Hollywood background, who has pictures of people, with her in the White House. And I'm not saying that taints her and she, it,
He's not seeing the truth is what's going on here. That's because he wants to believe in this right here. He wants to believe in this. He needs that hope. that this is what we're going to do, and this is going to somehow help us overturn our owners and stop evil. So he has this mirage, this illusion, and there's peer pressure going on.
Isn't necessarily a bad person because of that. But I'm just saying these things start to add up, and it gets quite frustrating. So eventually, I posted this image, this quote right here. You can see the image right here. Now, if you're wondering who Guy Man is, that's my sock account, alternative account on Facebook since I deleted my personal account. So I said, friends, if you've had issues with Jessica Kill, I request you bring those issues to the forefront of our community rather than keeping it private. Now, the reason I said that is because when I was starting to have these issues, people on the team, volunteers, were starting to email me privately and say, hey, man, I heard what's happening with you and Jessica cut your film and there's these things going on. Well, I'm having issues too. I was talking to other speakers. One of my friends, Kenny, he's already put out a video about his problems, and he was a speaker. Howard Lichtman, he was also a speaker. He had some issues, and these things started to add up where I realized, whoa, this is not just me. It's not like I'm just being difficult. Apparently, lots of people are having issues with this person. People on the team are telling me they're having issues with this person. Other speakers are having issues with this person, but nobody's talking about it publicly. So I posted that. This is someone who is deeply involved in the planning of Anarchapulco this year, who is not a part of our community and apparently doesn't care for the community. And again, that was based on what I was told by other people, that she detested or just straight up didn't care about the community.
Right, accountability. Okay, Testacino. You got to understand who she really is. It's like Lou Podolsky. You need to understand who some of these people really are. They're not just accidentally here. They have more than one function for being here. Because they don't care about your freedom. They don't care about natural law, your rights. They care about control. They want to make sure that they sell the illusion, the mirage, and control. That's the main thing, is to control. You can't have transparency and accountability. I'm sorry. That means you're being real. You have to be fake real. You're not allowed to be real. You have to be fake real. You understand? Because if you're real, I mean for real, we couldn't have that. No, we could not have that.
So I said I don't think this should be ignored for the sake of having fun or appearances, which is in my experience what happens. People just want to make sure they get invited to the cool kids club and to the show. So rather than being, accountable and transparent, they just
I love that. They just want to make sure they get invited to the cool kids show. I love the wording he used. I absolutely love the wording he used right there. Peer pressure, fitting in. They just want to be cool. They want to be part. They want to fit in. Yep.
shut up because it's convenient. So look at this. Different people are speaking up. Andrew Casas, and what happened is basically several people had communicated in this thread that they were having issues, and you can see right here.
That's right. See right here, I like this one, okay? I think many people are afraid to go against the grain. That's right. They're afraid to say what they're seeing. Oh, no. That's correct. That would be a correct answer right here. To go against the grain, the rock, the boat, or to stand on their own. That's right. They're afraid they won't fit in.
I'm responding to some of the people. Yes, this is true, but also behind the scenes, speakers are getting screwed over in different ways. Lots of people have things to say about her. Macy Tomlin, who is involved in the Anarch Awakening, another event that's kind of competing, she had her own issues as well, namely that Jessica Kill took the name of the Anarch Awakening event and named the health and wellness stage Anarch Awaken. So some people felt like that was on purpose to create confusion. And then I admitted to people to let them know that I'm just not some anonymous person, that my name is Derek Rose and I'm speaking at the event, and that I would be mentioning all of this on the main stage when I talk.
Right. So you're going to mention infiltration? So you forgot about infiltration, didn't you? You forgot that you could not put a public forum together anywhere in this world, doesn't matter if it's in Mexico, and have all of these people come together to speak and not have infiltration, and not have infiltration from your owner, from your owners, from the people we're fighting against. And that people would be willing to infiltrate, to control, to stifle. Of course they would, because they would be getting paid enough of the tool from their owner. You know, people like the guy you spoke with for a couple hours, Lou Podolsky. You know, people like him, that I'm sure you think he's a great man. Yeah, he's a great parasite. He's a great piece of scum.
And what I meant was that I would be mentioning that the community needs to be accountable and transparent. I didn't plan to mention Jessica Kill's name, and I never intended to.
But to be held accountable, the community. And transparent means that everybody would have to be accountable. That's the same thing as telling people recognizing right from wrong, and then doing unto others that you'd want done unto yourself. That's called accountability. Being accountable for one's actions. Nobody wants anything to do with that. What, you somehow think this great meeting was going to be full of that? That's the illusion. That's your mirage.
So then this was on January 31st. So again, just for the timeline, January 30th, I do the interview with Dana, talking about my film, talking about my appearance. The next day, I'm told by Dana and by people on the team, sorry, Jessica cut your film, it's not happening. And after everything, I was just like, this is enough. So I made this post. And within an hour, over here on the right side of the screen, this is my email. Jeff sends this email, Jeff Berwick, the founder of Anarchapulco. Derek, are you Guy Man on Facebook? If so, you are uninvited. Go fuck yourself. That's what I was told. So one day I'm being interviewed to promote my appearance, and the very next day I'm being told to go fuck yourself and that, I'm no longer welcome.
That's because you dared to bring up accountability, transparency. That's because you was being real. See, you don't quite understand what's going on here, do you? No, you don't. You're a little confused, ain't you? Yeah. I'm not. I used to be confused like you as well when you try to speak out and when you think you're working with people that you can trust. Like Dr. Mark Taylor, licensed PhD, who's personally good friends with David Icke. That's right. Somebody you think you can trust. Somebody who talks the talk and appears to have a position in life and be helping others and has a licensed PhD that seems to be good. But that's not true. That's not true at all. See, when you're real and not fake real, they'll spot you. You may be real and get by with it a couple, 30 times or whatever, but sooner or later they're going to spot you. And when they spot you, that you're real, and not fake real, and you're looking for accountability, you're looking for, well, you care about what's right and wrong. You're looking to see real change. And so you went to Lou Podolsky and talked to Weird Change, huh? You'll get the change Cassie Dill got with him. You sure will. But anyhow, I wanted to throw this up here. I'll leave the link to this man's video. I got nothing against this man at all. I understand his frustration, and I'm actually glad he posted this saying what's really going behind the scenes and what happened to him. It's sad for what happened to him, but at the same time, how do you think this would not happen to you? You've already said all you need to say. All you got to do is examine what you've seen. All you got to do is examine what you've seen. I'll say it again. Examine what you've seen. See, this right here is an illusion. That's a mirage. They'll have one every year that will be controlled. You ain't accidentally bringing all these faces together, and people that have already been sold their soul to evil. People that have already been sold, bought, and owned, and controlled by your owners. People who are controlled, who bought and sold their soul to evil already. People who are part of the problem are here to control the outcome so that you can have this gathering every year and sell like a salesman, false hope on the people of this world to allow them to believe that we're getting somewhere, when in reality you're getting nowhere, and you never will get anywhere, because there's no way you put this together without infiltration. The infiltration is in your face. Infiltration agent right here, who will do anything for that buck, including sell you down the river for that buck. The only change you're going to get is phony change. See, he said it himself. Transparency, accountability. See, you was being real, guy. I have respect for you for that, for being real. You wasn't being fake real. You was being real. This is why you had happened to you what you had happened to you. You got to sell your soul to evil. And you got to be willing to lie to the public and sell your soul to evil and be fake real. But because you're not fake real and you're real, this is why you had the trouble you had. To believe that this entire event is for real and that we're making a difference and going to overturn is to, well, peer pressure. Kid in high school, peer pressure to fit in. You seen it right there in the stuff he was showing you already. Okay? He showed you already peer pressure right in your face. You want to know how he showed you peer pressure right in your face? I think many people are afraid to go against the grain. They need to fit in. That's peer pressure. See? I'm not going to say no more. I hope so I could go on with this for hours. I'm going to make another video and talk about this very topic. But I wanted to put this in your face, and I wanted you to hear what he had to say. I'll leave the link to his video so you can watch the rest. And with that, I'm going to get on out of here. Or this will just get way too long for this time. With that, I'm out of here.